Welcome to today's edition of the IntoTexas AI podcast. It's your look at AI news and trends impacting Texas. I'm your host, Shannon Ballou. Let's get started. Oracle and OpenAI recently abandoned plans for a major expansion of an AI data center in Abilene, Texas. Even while Oracle continued to deny the changing plans, speculations soon began to swirl as to what would happen next, some even saying that Meta was interested. Now we know. Microsoft is stepping in to lease 900 megawatts of capacity, according to site owner Crusoe. It also includes 2 new buildings and an on-site power plant to support grid resilience. This development changes the story completely, because what originally started out a few weeks ago about concerns of a project falling apart in Abilene, well, now it's about how quickly AI infrastructure plans evolve and how strategic Texas continues to be in the AI infrastructure race. What changed? Originally, Oracle and OpenAI were tied to expanding a massive AI data center footprint in Abilene, potentially adding hundreds of megawatts of capacity. Then Bloomberg broke the news a couple of weeks ago that the two had abandoned their plans after negotiations allegedly stalled over financing issues and changing infrastructure needs on the behalf of OpenAI. Well, Oracle initially pushed back, saying that the plans were still on track. They even posted on X saying that the media reports were based on a, quote, fundamental misunderstanding of how AI data centers are built and operated. The story continued to develop as other pieces of the puzzle came into view, including a report that Oracle was in the process of planning a major layoff of 20,000 to 30,000 employees, or approximately 18% of their workforce. It was said that the cuts would not only cover general cost savings, but it would also help support the AI infrastructure investments it was making. We don't know how much Oracle has already invested specifically in the Abilene campus, but early reports did indicate that the site owner, Crusoe, along with Blue Owl Capital, initially raised about $15 billion in debt to finance the project. From the point of view of OpenAI, we also started getting a glimpse into some of the whys behind their changing investment and operational strategies. At a recent U.S. infrastructure summit in Washington, D.C., OpenAI CEO Sam Altman participated in a fireside chat and acknowledged that the market, quote, doesn't necessarily appreciate the reckless approach to growth and spending. That was in reference to its AI data center plans, according to CNBC. This is an important point, as OpenAI is expected to IPO later this year or early in 2027. Altman went on to discuss other challenges with AI data centers, including supply chain woes, the pressure to meet tight deadlines, and saying that almost anything can go wrong when it comes to a data center. He even cited a recent severe weather incident in Abilene, which caused things to go offline temporarily. Look, Altman essentially voiced what we are all coming to understand. Data centers are hard. What next? Enter Microsoft. When reports that the expansion deal had stalled, it looked like a slowdown in Abilene. But now, with Microsoft officially moving in to lease that capacity, what we're seeing is something really different. Demand didn't disappear. It got reassigned. And Microsoft isn't just another tenant. It's one of the largest buyers of AI computing power in the world, driven by its own deep investments in AI and the rapid expansion of its Azure cloud services, along with its previously exclusive but still ongoing partnership with OpenAI. And yes, that's another interesting point in this story. The Abilene data center is part of the broader Stargate project. This is between OpenAI and SoftBank. And it was an expected $500 billion investment to build massive AI computing infrastructure across the US. And some said that Abilene, which is the first campus under that Stargate initiative, well, it was an important strategic move for OpenAI to reduce its dependency on Microsoft. Because until recently, OpenAI got its computing capacity exclusively from Microsoft. And now, well, it looks like the two aren't just partners, they're also going to be neighbors in Abilene, Texas. The move to Abilene is also important to Microsoft, obviously, and I think it really fits well into their broader AI strategy. Microsoft has been aggressively scaling infrastructure to support large scale AI workloads. And all of that requires massive GPU clusters and fast. So think about it. Instead of waiting years to build new capacity from scratch, well, now Microsoft can step into Abilene and accelerate time to compute almost immediately. And that is one of the key ideas here. In the AI era, speed matters. What this means for Abilene. Let's bring this back to Texas, and specifically Abilene. A week ago, there might have been concern about whether this project was losing momentum. How would it impact Abilene? But now the future is once again confirmed. Abilene is absolutely on track to being one of the most critical nodes in the global AI infrastructure network. Because when you go from Oracle plus OpenAI to Microsoft at scale, well, it's of strategic importance. And it reinforces something that we talk about a lot. AI infrastructure is not static, it's fluid. The tenants may change, the use cases may evolve, but the underlying assets, power, land, connectivity, all things that Texas does well, they continue to become more valuable over time. The Texas advantage. Let's talk about Texas. This development doubles down on why Texas keeps winning these deals. I think there are three main reasons. One, power availability. AI data centers are energy intensive, and Texas can still deliver power at scale faster than most regions. Two, strategic geography. Texas sits at a crossroads of U.S. infrastructure with growing ties to semiconductor manufacturing and supply chains. And then three, speed to build. There are fewer regulatory hurdles in Texas, and Texas is considered a very business-friendly state, which means that projects can ultimately move faster. Well, Crusoe is a great example of that. Consider that they have just set the standard for delivering gigascale AI infrastructure. The initial two buildings of the Abilene campus, each about 100 megawatts of capacity, well, they were built and operational in less than a year. And the next phase, which is expected to add 6 more buildings and takes the campus to 2 gigawatts of capacity, is planned for completion by the end of this year, 2026, according to Crusoe. Now let's add one more factor, proof of demand. When a project loses one hyperscaler and immediately attracts another, well, that tells the market this location works. And I think this story is actually a preview of how the AI infrastructure market will behave over the next decade. Again, it's fluid. What's next? So what should we watch from here? 3 things. First, Microsoft's lease gives way to fast build out. Now that the lease is confirmed, it's time to build. Land cleaning and site prep are already underway, again, according to Crusoe. Second, who else might enter the ecosystem? Does this campus truly become a multi-tenant AI hub? We'll see. And third, Let's watch for copycat projects across Texas, because as Abilene continues to succeed, you'll see more activity across Dallas, Austin, Houston, maybe even some other smaller markets, all trying to compete for a piece of the next wave of AI infrastructure. So here's the takeaway. The Abilene data center story didn't weaken, it accelerated. And when one of the largest AI infrastructure buyers in the world steps in, well, that's not a fallback plan. That's validation. Texas isn't just participating in the AI economy, it's becoming where the AI economy runs. Thanks for listening to the IntoTexas AI podcast. If you want more insights into how AI is reshaping Texas, please be sure to subscribe, share, and we'll see you next time.